Welcome, my YouTube fans and chess fans alike. What you see on your screen is the very emotional new U.S. champion, women's champion of the chess. She, the very young, 22 years old, Nazi, let me pronounce her name correctly. I don't want to mess up her name. Naji Pekidsky. I'm sorry. Nazi Pekidsky. Naji is 22 years old. She has not won a championship. This will be her first. But she has played literally flawless chess throughout her last two matches. This being the USA champion, the women's champion. She has not lost a game in 22 matches. She has not lost a game. She may have drawn quite a few, but she has not lost a game in 22. So, here she is now. Nearly tearful with joy. The person on your forefront towards your left is Irina Krush, the former women's champion. Irina Krush being her elder, perhaps not by much, but she certainly was the U.S. women's champion until now, as of today. That is February 25th, 2016. We have a new women's champion. It was a heck of a match. I'm going to show you the game right now. It kind of started at well, I think it started before this, but let's go for move 28, 29. The computers were showing Pekidsky as being the favored. It started with let me see. Irina Krush was a pawn ahead, and she has a bishop and a pawn, and now she's basically a pawn ahead. And it went on from here, back and forth, sort of. Naji was on the attack, and Irina was beginning to defend. It was a fight. It was a death fight to the finish. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay, so Naji obviously attacks the queen, and there's not much to do except offer the trade. She doesn't take the trade, so Irina Krush is in check. And let me just speed this commentary up here. Check again, offering the knight. Check again, and now another offer of a trade, but she's taken the Irina Krush has taken the exchange loss, because it's going to be a rook for a queen. So there it is, and now it is no longer Irina having a pawn up. It is basically 9 for 9. You know, it's a rook, a bishop, and a pawn for a single queen. So material-wise, it's even, but position-wise, Naji Pekidsky has the attack. I mean, she's this is basically a lost position from move 26, I think it was, but it's definitely from this point on. Irina Krush is doing nothing but defending, or she's trying to build a fortress to try and stay out of checkmate. So it goes on a few more moves, and Naji is trying to figure out how to break through this fortress. She gets a pawn back, and from here on in, it's sort of a back and forth struggle. And there it is. I think this is basically the end. It's just a matter of time at this point. And they go back and forth twice, being careful, Naji being careful not to do a threefold repetition, because she has this game in the bag if she's careful. And she goes and uses the queen instead. because as you can see, when we go back here for a second, as you can see, it might have been an attempt at, Irina might have been attempting to go for a draw by threefold repetition, but Naji did not go for that. And now she takes another pawn, maneuvers the queen, and now we're talking about a discovered check here. But it's Irina's turn, so she gets out of the discovery. And now Naji attacks the bishop. The king tries to come in for a double rescue, but it's about to be all over. And now the pawn comes in, and it's game over, because now she just takes the bishop. No, she could just take the bishop, but she doesn't. She goes for check first, and Irina Krush resigns. You might ask, what could she do here? What can she do? She could try to move away, you know, but then the bishop is just gone. So there goes Irina Krush's major piece that was helping to defend. So with two rooks against a rook and a queen, it's definitely not going to work. So we have a new women's champion in the young Pekidze Naji Pekidze. And if you saw the match like I did, a live broadcast, you would have seen her husband came in, and she was literally resting her eyes on his shoulder. It was very emotional. It was kind of cool. Very sweet moment for Naji. She actually won the championship by the fact that her friend, the other woman who was also a champion at one time, had lost her match against her opponent. So because of the point spread, it was Naji that ended up having the championship in the bag. So that was very interesting. Now on the guy's side, let me just show you that emotion. That was at the moment when Irina Krush resigned. Irina Krush took it well. She was actually smiling. This photo doesn't really show because that's a screen capture of a video. But as you can see, Naji, the pretty young blonde there, she's literally nearly in tears with she can't believe she's overwhelmed with the fact that she won this. So that's not tears of angst, it's tears of joy. She wasn't actually crying, but she damn near did. But it was kind of a cute moment, so to speak. All right, so let's go away from that, and let's bring up another. Let me see. Let's bring up the other game. Caruana is also now. We have two new champions, by the way. One woman, one man. We have my favorite, Caruana, Fabio Caruana, Fabulous Fabiano, stealing the title from Nakamura. Nakamura was, of course, the U.S. champion for I forget how long now, a couple of years at least, I think. So I got to be honest with you, I wasn't always, such a great fan of Nakamura. I mean, I liked him and all, but I was always a bigger fan of the young Caruana, and I was hoping he would he'd be the choice to play Magnus Carlsen in the World Champion, but he missed his chance on that when he was playing the candidates. The candidates match was held in Russia, I believe, well, when you want to play against the world champion, you have to play a candidates match. So he kind of screwed up there. He came in second or something. He didn't quite make the actual. The person who's playing Magnus is going to be, what's his name? I'll find that out for you later. But nevertheless, Caruana is now the new USA champion, and hopefully next year perhaps he'll get a chance to play Magnus, or whoever might actually end up being the champion if Magnus doesn't hold his title. So let's go ahead and get that other set of games. Okay, so let's get that other set of games. getting that other set of games. I will find those set of games. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so where is that folder anyway? There we go. Okay, so the list that you're looking at now is this one. The list I'm about to show you is this one. Okay, so now we have, looking for Caruana. There he is. He was playing black against Sandra. I think Sandra is a bit young. I think he's one of the youngsters. And then, yes, he's the 14-year-old who is basically holding his own. I got to tell you, it's a new era in chess because there's a lot of youngsters coming up. I mean, these young kids, both girls and guys, were really holding their own against grandmasters and champions of their own right. So you got to give these kids a hand, especially that one girl I told you about the other day on the other video, that 12-year-old. But in any case, this kid I think is 14, perhaps 15, playing against Caruana and Fabiano, who is now 20. What is he? 23ish. In any case, he is now rated the second best player next to Carlsen because Carlsen obviously holds the world title. So until Caruana is able to steal that title from Carlsen, he'll be number 2 for now. But he is our now USA champion. So here's how that game went. I don't think there's any major exciting. I couldn't commentary on this. It was a closed Roy Lopez. And because it was such a high-rated game, usually in the players that have a slightly lower rating, the game gets wild, like it did with the two women. It gets wild and it gets crazy, and there's a lot of excitement. But sometimes when you're playing against very highly rated players, the game can be somewhat less exciting, yet it's a big struggle. I mean, they're playing some amazing chess, especially for a 14 or 15-year-old kid. He's 24.77. He is a grandmaster. Caruana, however, being rated at 27.95, having a full 300 and almost 20 points on rating, higher than him. So I'm just going to quickly show this. It was let me just go to the end of the game here. I believe it was a resignation. Let me see. Yeah, because it doesn't show a checkmate. So yeah, so young Akshat had resigned. I do know that it was there was some close calls. I was watching the game partially, but I was more interested in the exciting Irina Krush game. So I got less of a look at this game than I did at hers. But in any case, this was a resignation. It is not a checkmate. So there you have it. We have 2 new USA champions. Fabiano Caruana for the guys, and Naji, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name again, for the women. And I'll get used to saying her last name soon, because I intend to perhaps highlight some of her games in the near future. So I will get to pronounce her name smoothly enough in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm not the greatest commentator, but I did want to at least make the announcement. And there you have it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Tickle the like button, please. Comments, suggestions. Thank you. Keep on playing.